Tonight on the News Hour, tragedy strikes in Abuja, Anambra as stampede claims lives and leaves many others injured. NNPCL cuts petrol ex-depot price by 12%, now selling at 899 naira per litre. Price of chicken, turkey and fish surge in Lagos ahead of Christmas festivities. On the foreign scene, Ghana's president-elect John Mahama calls for stronger support to Sahel nations in the fight against terrorism. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We start with some devastating news in Abuja as a stampede has been reported at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama on Saturday morning, resulting in the deaths of at least 10 persons, including children. The tragedy unfolded as thousands of residents gathered to receive palliatives distributed by the church. Here's the report.
It's a season of sharing, giving, and putting smiles on the faces of people. Amidst the sharing of love, tragedy has found a way to strike. In the last few days, stories of stampedes at food sharing outreaches have filled the airways. Here in Abuja on Saturday, at least 10 people, including children, lost their lives at an event at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja. Over 3,000 people, mostly from nearby settlements, attended the event, which was intended to provide relief to struggling residents. Eyewitnesses described the scene as chaotic and tragic, with many attendees arriving as early as 4 a.m. to secure their share of the palliatives. The stampede occurred between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. when the crowd scaled barricades and surged beyond the control of the organizers. At least 7 of the deceased were children, according to eyewitnesses.
I say it is greed. If it is not greed, how will they open something for you to come and take what you didn't bought with your money? You didn't bought it with your money, they invite you to come and receive. Then you go inside gradually, one after the other. They pushed. They refuse to be disciplined. Calm down, go in gently. They enforce the gate and force themselves inside. Those people at the front fell down. All the people at their back, we are sitting down here, watching them, they are marching them. 5 people in the same area in Pape die in this incident that happens. They will give us food, they will give us material. We will go to him, he's sitting at the edge, that place, around that place they used to share from. We will sit there, I'm a Muslim. We'll go there, we'll lead our Father, will bless us for the year. Every Christmas they will give us.
There is many Catholic church, but here that we know say Father is blessing us. Now here we the run come. But this thing surprised me this year. This thing surprised me. The crab where they this year, we never see her. As they force the gate, this security they cannot control them because of the crowd was too much. And you will see some of the women, they will carry children like this. This one will carry for back. Some now so they sleep here since yesterday. Then this man rose since yesterday. Make sure them get this food today. And person day here since yesterday never chop anything. This crime come, then just they push. Where you see power, where you go fit go. Now so some them fall, then they march them like this. Those where they fend, they remove them, carry them. Thank God for the church. Then come out, then rush. They rush, carry some, they rush, go hospital. They did for us, but the thing what they did for us, we are not happy. But see now, we don't have anything to do the Christmas now. During good law, who do this thing? During this Obasanjo, who do all this thing? They are giving us food. If we came, we did like Father go come, we go dance with Father, do everything in good way. But see this thing this year, everywhere you go now, cram. Everywhere you go, women with children now so then they cry. Now so then they cry. So, somebody here tell me say, mommy, food since yesterday where to put for mouth, give these children no get.
A combined team of police, military and DSS officers were deployed to restore order and disperse the crowd The National Director of Social Communications at the Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria, Padre Mike Nsikak Umar, confirmed the tragic development and announced the suspension of the palliative distribution. Further efforts made to reach the church officials for a statement proved abortive. However, what these stampedes tell us is that there is hunger in the land. But with efforts to help ameliorate the rising hunger turning into scenes of children as casualties, many are hoping that these stampedes will not deter well-meaning Nigerians from sharing in the love of the season.
Well, in another development, an unconfirmed number of residents of Okija community in Anambra State have reportedly lost their lives in a stampede. The stampede occurred on Saturday morning during an event for the distribution of rice. According to reports, victims of the stampede are mostly women. Multiple social media videos show lifeless bodies laying on the ground after the incident. Some of the victims have reportedly been taken to hospitals for treatment. Charles Aburime, the chief press secretary to the governor, confirmed this development to newsmen. He also said the state government is monitoring the situation and is set to release a statement soon. In his reaction, the Inspector General of Police, Kaide Betokun, has ordered a probe into the stampede at a food distribution event in Abuja and Anambra State. The Inspector General said negligence on the part of those distributing items is criminal. At a press conference in Abuja on Saturday, the spokesperson of the Nigerian Police Force, Muyiwa Adejobi, quoted the Inspector General of Police as mandating all police commissioners in the affected states to probe these incidents.
In the early hours of today, the 21st of December 2024, another tragedy struck at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama in Abuja, in a similar stampede that occurred during the distribution of food items to vulnerable and elderly individuals. This unfortunate incident led to the death of 10 individuals, leaving many others injured. And there are various hospitals now for treatment. A similar incident also occurred at Okija, here at the local government and Anambra State, today, at a palliative distribution set up by a philanthropist identified as Obi Jackson, which led to the death of several individuals. At this moment, 3 persons have been confirmed dead, while many injured have been taken to various hospitals for adequate treatment. The IGP emphasized the dangers posed to public safety during these unorganized distributions and fun fairs set up by groups, individuals, and non-governmental organizations, including the potential for stampedes and other incidents that could endanger lives. The lack of a well-defined plan for distributing palliatives has resulted in chaos, leading to long lines and unnecessary confrontations among citizens seeking assistance. In light of this development, the IGP has called on government officials, community leaders, and non-governmental organizations to work collaboratively towards establishing a comprehensive and organized framework for distributing palliatives.
Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has cancelled his official events in Lagos owing to the multiple stampedes during food distribution campaigns in Abuja and Anambra State. Several persons have died and many others have been hospitalized during the stampedes that happened in the early hours of Saturday. Describing the incidents as quote, avoidable, the president cancelled his outings for the day in honor of the victims of the stampede. A statement by Bayo Nanuga said the president was scheduled to watch the boat parade and other activities of the 2024 Lagos Boat Regatta from the waterfront of his Queen's Drive residence in Ikoyi. The president wants organizers of similar programs and relevant authorities to enforce strict crowd control measures immediately. The president mandated authorities not to tolerate operational lapses by organizations during charitable activities. Well, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has expressed sadness over the recent deaths caused by stampedes while the victims were searching for food. A few days ago, about 35 people, mostly children, lost their lives in a stampede at a Christmas fun fair in Ibadan, Oyo State. In a post on X, Obi said he got the report that at least 10 people lost their lives on Saturday morning in Abuja while scrambling for palliatives, with many others injured. This was immediately followed by news of another stampede in Okija, Anambra State, with multiple lives lost while partaking in the sharing of bags of rice donated by a philanthropist. He lamented that the desperate quest for survival in this harsh economy has driven many Nigerians to extremes in their search for food, often at the cost of their lives. He concluded by commiserating with all the affected families and the good people of Oyo, Anambra and Abuja over the tragic incidents. Right, join the conversation now to shed light on these developments is Jide Ojo, a public affairs analyst who's joined us virtually via Zoom from his home in Abuja this evening. It's good to see you again, Mr. Jide Ojo. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us. It's appearing to look like a pattern. These events of Saturday, December 21st, will be the 6th record event of stampedes in Nigeria this year alone. How do you contextualize what these events mean and what they're telling us about the situation of the country?
Thank you, Abdullah. The situation is a telltale sign and the omen, a very bad omen of the state of play of the nation. Even though we may be discussing what the tragic events of today, by my own counting, this is the 5th incident in year 2024. 5th. First, it happened with the Nigerian Customs on February 23 when they decided to sell rice at affordable price. I think they wanted to sell 50 kg of rice at 20,000. Some of the seized rice from smugglers. That led to death of 7 persons. That was on February 23, 2024. Then you had the one in Nasarawa State University, Abuja, where 2 people reportedly died. Again, while they were queuing up to get palliative food. Then we have the one of December 19 in Ibadan, which claimed 35 lives and counting. And then Okija, which a section of the media reported 27 deaths. And now the one at Holy Trinity Catholic Church, where 10 people have been confirmed dead. Now, this tells a story that this issue of hunger and starvation has reached its crescendo. Because I listened to one of the organizers of the Maitama, Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama. He said the church has been doing it for over 20 years. And they have never recorded any tragedy. Last year they did it. Why is this year one different? It is different because cost of living has risen astronomically high, and more people are dropping into poverty line. More people. Recall that in August there was 10 days of protest, hunger protest by the Nigerians, and then another one on October 1. This is the stark reality that is staring us in the face, that these things are not just made up. Look at the NBS statistics about the rate of poverty and unemployment in 2024. So it tells a story about misgovernance and lack of, human face to the economic reform policies of this administration.
Right.
You cannot continue to record. I quite understand the fact that maybe the organizers could have done better in terms of coordination, making sure that there are, ambulances and emergency officials. But for God's sake, this is not the first time they are doing this. Even the Ibadan one that recorded that high number of fatalities. That lady, the former wife of the Ooni of Ife, it wasn't her first time of doing something of this nature. So it tells you the story that it's not just for lack of organization. Usually for things like this, you just get civil defense and maybe private security to help you to coordinate. And that is why people did not deem it fit to involve the police. But obviously now, given what has happened, I agree with the Nigerian police that maybe subsequently there is need to involve the Nigerian police, need to involve the emergency rescue operation, emergency responders, so that in the event of a stampede, you could have ambulances and doctors and emergency responders trying to service the situation. But it's just said, we cannot continue like this. The state, federal, and local government needs to do more to improve the welfare of citizens.
Right.
Otherwise, no matter the best laid plans, even if you have the Nigerian police, the one that happened with the Nigerian customs, will you say that Nigerian customs, being a paramilitary organization, will not have a plan? Yet, some people were trampled to death in Lagos. So it's not just about not having a coordinated plan, not having a emergency responder. It's just the sheer volume of people who are in desperate need of what to eat that has led us into this kind of carnage. And it is so sad. It is very heartrending. My heart goes to the families of those who lost their loved ones. I commiserate with them. I condone them. My heart goes out to them, because this is very saddening and heartrending. Very, very heartrending.
Let's just talk a little bit about the statement from the Nigeria police, because the Inspector General of Police, through the force spokesperson, Mr. Adejobi, says negligence is not an excuse for what has happened right now, and is basically said it's criminal to risk the people's lives in this particular manner. But you also raised some of those questions about past events that happened this year, from the Lagos Stampede back in February, the developments with Nasarawa State, where the students also suffered the impact of this particular stampede with some death tolls recorded. There's the Bauchi Zakat also, which I think you didn't put on your diary list of those events, and that made it 6. But give me a sense of what we're trying to achieve by criminalizing, giving a helping hand, for instance. These organizations, these philanthropists have made a habit of donating out of their goodwill to help people, deal with, the wants and needs of everyday life. But the situation has been compounded with the current economic crisis. I guess we're trying to really bring to life the statement, no good deed goes unpunished. But what happens to our society if we decide to go after people who are just trying to help their fellow counterparts?
It is so sad and very, very unfortunate that the Nigerian police will want to criminalize a kind gesture by philanthropists, because this is a time-honored customs. Churches, mosques, philanthropists, people of goodwill always use the opportunity of festive period to reach out to the loved ones, to reach out to the less privileged. And I don't think it serves us right to criminalize this act of charity. We much as I understand that Mr. Ojobi and the Nigerian police are trying to do their work, but they should not criminalize charity. It is not only in Nigeria. People we have had situations where there were stampedes in the stadiums across the world, where lives have been lost during football matches. Will you also say that it was negligent? The bottom line is that for this stampede over food is indicative of how bad the hunger situation in Nigeria is. I agree to the extent that, yes, maybe those who are planning to do similar things ahead of Christmas should now retool their plan, get the police authorities involved. If you have to give coupons to people, if you possibly you can monetize what you want to give to people, collect their bank account numbers, give them like 1 week to say, if you know you are in need of palliatives, I'm giving you 10,000 people should register, then you make the transfer to them and let them go and buy whatever they so wish, rather than having them gathered at a spot and then risking their lives in this manner. But it should not be criminalized. Charity has been part of our tradition. And people, many of us, even including myself, have benefited from previous charity, previous act of charity. I understand that, you know, when it's just the push factor, the fact that the situation has become so bad that even people who a couple of years ago would never touch food meant for charity are now the one in the forefront trying to get food from charity. Okay. And it is not limited to Nigeria. It's a global phenomenon that people do this. Even in Western countries, you know, you have food bank, you have all of these different ways of. I mean, the federal government does it so through the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. We know that there is the conditional cash transfer. Okay. There is also the procurement of palliatives to give to citizens. So it is not something that should be criminalized. Yes, we can make do with better planning, get security agencies involved in future exercise, get first responders like National Emergency Management Agency, the Red Cross, the hospitals should come with their ambulances and medical personnel. That may help to prevent this kind of stampede in future. But I mean, out of the 6 that we have highlighted, 3 were not related to this kind of.
For want of time, Mr. Jidojo, we're going to have to end it here. I mean, I'm afraid the news program will not allow us enough time to dissect all of the issues. But thank you so much for joining us. We've been speaking with public affairs analyst Jidojo, shedding light on the 6th recorded incident of stampedes in Nigeria this year alone, all of it against the backdrop of the cost of living. Now, in other news, as competition continues in the downstream sector, the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited has slashed the ex-depot price of petrol by 12% to 899 naira per litre, down from 1,020 naira per litre. The national president of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Gillis Harry, has confirmed this development, saying that 899 naira per litre is for Lagos, while Warri, Ogara, Port Harcourt and Calabar have 970 naira as their ex-depot price. Harry, who described the price reduction as a welcome development, says the reduction in the PMS price by NNPCL is a demonstration of the company's commitment to making petroleum products much more affordable for Nigerians. He also commended the NNPCL for responding to their call for affordable PMS prices. The Dangote refinery says it is partnering with MRS to sell premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, at 935 naira per litre nationwide at its retail outlets. The development comes after the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited also slashed its prices below 1,000 naira per litre. A statement posted on its X account on Saturday also said the president of the Dangote Industries Limited, Aliko Dangote, commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the positive impact of the naira for crude swap deal on the Nigerian economy, which has led to a reduction in the price of petroleum products in the country. According to him, the Dangote refinery is for the benefit of Nigeria and Nigerians. All right, let's speak on that development regarding the price of PMS, which has been cut significantly by the Dangote refineries and the NNPCL. And join us virtually from Abuja is the National President of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Mr. Billy Gillis Harry, is joining us virtually for this conversation. Mr. Billy, as always, a pleasure having you join us on the program. Thank you very much for taking the time. Compliments of the season to you. It does appear that you have welcomed this development with open arms and some positivity. However, talk to me about the lack of confirmation from the NNPCL, because while stakeholders like you are reacting positively to this development, NNPCL has yet to confirm the authenticity of this development. What can you tell us about that?
Well, thank you for having me, and Merry Christmas to everyone, and a very great New Year that's coming in 2025. Petron has established a very effective communication line with the industry leadership. And when we come out to give an endorsement for a particular information, that would have been effectively researched by us. And we can confirm it as real, as grassroots operators in the industry, and NNPC's partners as well. So you can take our word for real, and that's it.
Right. Okay. What does this mean? I mean, obviously, it's appreciated by a lot of Nigerians. You might have seen some of the commentary on this development since the Dangote refineries announced its own slash, which actually came first. Tell us about the competitive nature of what's happening to the downstream sector and what this means for Nigeria's economy, but also more importantly, affordable energy prices.
Well, it's a very great day, and I do commend Dangote refineries. I also commend NNPC retail and NNPC as a group, because the refinery is Nigeria's property, and we are all applauding the developments that are coming in from there. I recall that Petron a couple of days ago had requested NNPCL to review their prices downwards to enable us also to be able to pass that effect, to Nigerians, and that is happening now. From what I read in the tabloids and several newspapers today, it looks like there is an understanding that there is a price war, but that's not what I think it is. What it is that there are, entrepreneurial environmental factors that are playing out to be able to give us this kind of reprieve. Dangote says it's a gift to Nigerians for supporting him and a gift for the Yuletide. I was in an earlier television show and I said, I'm not a refiner, so I'm not in a position to make a comment on that. NNPCL, on the other hand, has a direct communication with Petron, and we are doing the best we can to make sure that we keep everybody on their toes. And I think that's what it is. Environmental factors playing out, and also cost of production also being impacted. I think that's what it is.
And talk to me about this competitive pricing that is going on right now. How sustainable is it? Can these two major players, for instance, keep this up? Nigerians are surely excited about it, even if it's a 10, 20, 30 naira reduction. Nigerians want the prices to continue to go down. But is this sustainable?
Well, the industry is not one that you can, I really discourage any kind of armchair analysis in this industry because there are realities that are completely different from just what is researched on a day-to-day basis on Google or anywhere else. Costs of production varies, and there are different factors that can make the production of 1 liter of PMS to be a certain X amount, and then tomorrow is a Y amount. But the important thing is that every effort to make petroleum product available in Nigeria is being explored. And that is the very sweet part of it that we in Petron applaud. You can see that our zonal chairman, our state chairman, even committees that are saddled with the responsibility to do some of the research and practical visitations to give the national headquarters of Petron information are very excited about these developments, coming on the heels of Petron's requests and analysis being made consistently and also passed on to the authorities. So for sustainability, I think that just like anywhere else in the world where PMS is deregulated, prices go up and then it comes down. So that's, we cannot say will be sustainable in a linear fashion, but it will be graphically going up and coming down from what we have done, the researches we have done. But the most critical is the availability of product, the availability. Don't recall the days that we were waiting for PMS and there's weather, vagaries of weather, logistics issues, different kinds of difficulties that were, affecting the industry that was making petroleum product available difficult. But now we have domestic production. And so we should applaud it, we should encourage them, and we should do the best we can to support them, which is why we all agree to stop import.
Right. I think availability is important, but a lot of Nigerians would agree with me when I say that affordability is even much more important to them. But let's wrap it up with your thoughts on one key issue that you have raised about the price war against the backdrop of a report that your technical committee on pricing, submitted or made public regarding the quality of the product Nigerians are buying. You did talk about the NMDPRA, which is the regulatory agency to look into quality standardization so that we don't compromise in our quest to deliver cheaper energy to Nigerians. Why do you express that concern?
Well, we have to express that concern because my team are made up of very highly, experienced experts, and most of them already understand some of the difficulties that occur in this industry. And we want to be able to call an MDPRA to know that this will be a concern in the future. And what Petron is doing as a public service organization is also to keep the authorities on their toes to know that they have responsibility. We need to be sure that we have top quality as much as we have availability. And I do agree with you that affordability is a focus. And of course, that Petron is in the forefront of negotiating and pushing for affordability of petroleum product to Nigerians.
Okay, let's leave it here for now. Mr. Billy Gile-Harris, as always, thank you most kindly for availing yourself and for providing us the much needed context and analysis to this issue. Appreciate you very much and enjoy the holidays.
Thank you. I want to enjoy the holiday. Please let me just respectfully correct my name. My name is Dr. Billy Gile-Harris.
Right. Billy.
So it's very easy. Otherwise, you can just call me Dr. Billy Harry, right, and that should be sufficient.
I appreciate that correction. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
With the Christmas festivities ahead of Christmas, the prices of fish, chicken, and turkey have soared significantly. Sellers of these commodities remain optimistic of making maximum profits from sales this season. In Lagos State, many residents are now turning to beef as a more affordable alternative to celebrate the season with their families and friends. The report.
As Christmas season approaches, the cost of staple food items such as fish, chicken and turkey that are commonly used by Nigerians for festive celebration have risen very high. With this high increase, many have turned to affordable alternative like beef. At Oko Oba Abattoir Market in Agege, thousands of Nigerians flock in to purchase cow, goat and ram meat. Fish and live poultry sellers shared their frustration over the high cost of their products and low patronage.
This fish now is not come down at all. Even at all, see Titus now. We are buying small carton of Titus. 80 something. Shower, you could do shower, nobody can eat shower before. Now, shower is the best fish for another person now. Shower, you don't turn to one plate of shower 30,000. So this thing no come down. Kote now, Kote is 80,000 plus.
Okay, there's talking of 70, 50, 130.
The chairman of Oko Oba Abatua, Kabiru Ibrahim, aired his views on the rising cost of transportation as it affects the prices of cow meat in the market.
Last year by this time we buy cow 600, 500. Now we buy cow 1 million, some 200 is double. And then people no money to buy. And number two, no get market. After you no get market, people no buy. It is very expensive. People no people buy out. No market, no money.
A kilo of beef now in this market is 6,000 naira. We used to buy from the cattle market at the range of from 800,000 upward. There's a cow of 1,700,000 in the market now, and there's some cow of 1,200,000. But we are selling at 1,200,000, 1,100,000. That's what we used to buy and sell here.
The population of people here are very, very high, and they have come for beef because prices of turkey and chicken is on a high side. One turkey, at least the maximum you can get is 70,000 for a smallest one. A big one can go for 100, and chicken is 35,000, the smallest one. So people now is rushing. They are now rushing to buy beef.
Live chicken, live turkey now is from 80,000, 100,000, 120,000. Even live chicken. That's why a lot of people are opting for beef. Different protein, frozen, chicken, turkey. They are still quite affordable in spite of the hike in price, and that's just because of the season.
The turkey is out of it. Turkey is very expensive, and for live chicken, I think I priced before coming here. They said 25,000. This is 6,000, and by the time you finish cutting the live chicken, I don't think it's going to be up to what you get here. If you bought like 3 kilos, that's 18,000 naira. So I think beef is better, even though not healthier.
The beef is still manageable, more than the chicken and turkey. The price of chicken is still low to them. So the meat, and if you buy like 7,000 meat or 6,000 per kilo, if you still buy that one, you still price 10,000 chicken. If you buy one chicken, it's now 10,000.
In the light of this Christmas celebration and New Year, Nigerians are encouraged to see regular meat as an alternative source of protein to prepare for themselves and families.
You're watching the news on Trust TV. Still to come. Experts advocate consumption of red sweet potatoes to help curb malnutrition among children. More on this and many other stories coming up ahead after the break. Join us again. Welcome back to the news. Thank you most kindly for staying with us. Let's take another look at our top stories. Tragedy strikes in Abuja, Anambra as stampede claims lives of many, leaving others injured. NNPCL cuts petrol ex-depot price by 12%, now selling at 899 naira per litre. The Ararame spare markets at the Agodi Gate in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, was engulfed in flames in the early hours of Saturday. The fire, which reportedly started at around 2 a.m., has destroyed properties worth millions of naira. Here's the report.
Residents of Ibadan who had to recover from the recent stampede that killed over 30 children woke up to a new devastation on Saturday. A massive overnight fire ravaged several shops, resulting in millions of naira in losses. Shop owners expressed frustration, alleging that the fire service responded late to the scene and upon arrival lacked sufficient water to curtail the fire, allowing it to spread further.
I'm at travel. I was told that the incident occurred at around 11:30 p.m. yesterday night. Immediately the issue started, the they contact the fire to come and rescue the issue. But we got 3 buses came to this market, but only one of the buses get water. 2 are empty. At least that one with the water at the end, the water finish. That's the reason why the fire spread like this.
That's the purpose of coming here. When we reach here this morning, you can see physically by yourself that they have lost millions of naira here. So by this, I'm seeing the opportunity to tell them that they should calm down and face their business and make sure government assists them. I'm not taking the opportunity to appeal to our own state government, who is very, very generous and to have the citizens of your state in mind to come to direct to assist them.
Firefighters have since brought the inferno under control.
Our men come to this place around 1 o'clock, bearing in mind that that yesterday there was a truck carrying gas along this express road. We went there to put under control. That's the same thing yesterday night. There was outbreak at Akpata. It was when we were in Akpata that we were called. We actually arrived this place with water around 1 a.m. Not for we have water. We have gone to go and reload for about 7 times before we find out that we need to actually move closer when we compare water population for the state, which they actually show us the hydrant. But fortunately for us, there is water inside the hydrant, but the pressure is not there.
While others are still counting their losses, the disaster comes as a blessing in disguise for others, as some of them were seen putting scraps on the scale for sale.
Well, men of the Oyo State Fire Service on Friday averted danger after a gas truck caught fire along the Ibadan-Lagos Expressway along Ojo Road in Ibadan, Oyo State. The fire was reported to the agency at about 12 p.m. and upon receiving the alert, they deployed their team, which immediately helped to quench the fire. On arrival, the team discovered that a truck carrying domestic gas had caught fire, posing a severe risk of explosion. However, the team's rapid response subdued the blaze, preventing the fire from escalating the situation.
No, when the motor is coming on the way, so it's about to catch the fire along the road there. Because I was there by then. So the driver, they are 2. Both driver and the motorbike, 2 of them now dropped down. So because it nearly catch fire, the fire is too much. So that's why the drivers and the motorbike dropped down.
No, we are not here when the fire started. But we just call on us that we should proceed to this scene of incident of getting there. The net fire, the vehicle, well alighted, the fire. Instantly, we started our work and suppressed the fire.
The Plateau State Commissioner of Police, Emmanuel Olugbemiga Adesina, has deployed officers to crisis areas including Mangu, Bokos, Barikiladi, Riom and Basa local government area of the state. The commissioner says the deployment is part of the command's efforts to ensure a hitch-free Christmas and New Year celebrations across these areas. Addressing the officers before the deployment, the commissioner urged them to be professional and warned against any unethical practices during the operation. The police commissioner also further disclosed that due to consultation with his management team and critical stakeholders within the state, the command placed restrictions on night grazing by herders, night farming by farmers, late night operation of bear parlors, night mining activities, operations of commercial motorcycles, and others. All these restrictions are to be enforced between the hours of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Keep away from alcohol. Keep yourself for this short period that you are doing this operation. In those days, what made people to fear police when we go for this kind of operation is because of the way we carry ourselves. We don't go for this assignment and start to mingle with people anyhow. As we go, we are going to 5 locations. We'll be shared to 5 locations. Is that clear? Yes. Please. Yes. And at the conclusion of the operations, we will all come back. Arrangement has been put in place on how to convey you to these various locations. I'm appealing, and again, I'm trying to encourage you.
And in neighboring Bauchi State, 3 communities of Toro local government areas have committed to fighting against malnutrition by using red sweet potatoes and other food supplements as they express their readiness to use therapeutic food rough as no longer, I beg your pardon, it's no longer sufficient to cover the population at various community health centers. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports that their activities drew the attention of health critical stakeholders in the area. The report.
Dandaure and Mia Barkate, as well as Tilden Fulani communities in Toro local government areas, currently embrace using sweet potato and other ingredients as supplement to deal with malnutrition bedeviling many children in the Northeast and Bauchi in particular. Community mobilizers and UNICEF representative express hope for other communities to key in as it has all the nutrients the child needs, saying adults can use red sweet potato as food against the scarce RUTF for child healthy living.
Women that we train, they in return train other women that they know around the houses. But now I cannot say just 15 women, I would say almost half of the women in the community have planted this sweet potato.
We do cultivate the red sweet potatoes, even in the backyard. We are using sound inside sacks to yield through the irrigation system of watering the farm in a local way, up to the level of the harvesting period. More so, even in the surface flour, this potato is doing well also.
A nutrition expert at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital Bauchi, Ibrahim Ladi, acknowledged the importance of using local food to drive away acute malnutrition among under 5 children.
It has some of the essential vitamins like B9, that is, and some of the niacin and all that, which is very essential during pregnancy and lactation. They gives them all this. But if they do not peel it, once you peel it, you lose almost some of the essential nutrients, having carbohydrate. Not that if you peel it, you cannot eat it, but you tend to lose some of the essential nutrients. But when this thing, it has some water-soluble vitamin and fat-soluble vitamin, and when you peel it and soak it in water, you tend to lose some of the essential vitamins.
Recently, United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, reports and other health partners raise alarm on the need for government at all levels to commit more to the welfare of children and women. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited has debunked reports in some sections of the media that the newly resuscitated Old Port Harcourt refinery has been shut down. A statement by the Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the NNPCL, Olufemi Shonaya, in Abuja on Saturday says the refinery is fully operational. The 60,000 barrels per day capacity Old Port Harcourt refinery came back on stream 2 months ago after years of being shut down. The statement also added that the preparation for the day's loading operation is currently ongoing. The federal government has denied claims by the Nigerian authorities that Nigeria played a key role in the December 13 attack on the Niger-Benin oil pipeline. A statement issued by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimibe Efiamfa on Saturday says that the Nigerian government denied any involvement with the Lakurawa terrorist group or allegations that its security forces collaborated in the incident. It expressed condolence to Niger over the attack but emphasized its unwavering commitment to combating terrorism and dissociating itself from any such groups. The foreign minister of the military junta in Niger Republic had summoned the chargé d'affaires at the Nigerian embassy, accusing the neighboring nation of, quote, serving as a rare base to destabilize Niger Republic. Elsewhere on the continent, Ghana's new president-elect on December 7, John Dramani Mahama has proposed an initiative to enhance support for the countries of the Alliance of Sahelian States, emphasizing the need for a collective approach to combating terrorism in the region. His statement is aimed at drawing the attention of the neighboring countries and international organizations such as the Economic Community of West African States to the crisis in the region, which has become, quote, the epicenter of terrorist activity. The Sahel region, including such countries as Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso in recent years, has faced an unprecedented increase in terrorist threats. Groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State not only threaten the safety of the citizens but also undermine the economic and social development of these countries, according to Mahama. The elected Ghanaian president, the president-elect rather, emphasized that this instability poses a threat not only to the Sahel but also to all of West Africa. He noted that neighboring countries such as Ghana, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and Benin Republic should play a more active role in supporting the Sahel. All right, time now for some sports. Here's Adeni Ajishafe with the latest.
20 Scrabble players are expected to represent Nigeria at the second edition of African Youth Scrabble Championship to be hosted by Kenya in 2025. Head coach of Team Nigerian Scrabble Youth category, Samuel Eremosele, said there will be no qualifier for the AYSC as the team will be selected from the 60 players under his watch. Captain of Team Nigerian to the World Youth Scrabble Championship 2024, Sofian Buluwatife, has been named as captain for Team Nigeria to the African Youth Scrabble Championship. He will be assisted by Michael Ogbona and Haruna Abdullahi. Stakeholders have appealed to the federal government through the National Sports Commission to support Scrabble Youth team to the African Youth Championship financially, as Team Nigeria will participate in 6 competitions in 2025, such as the World Youth Scrabble Championship in Australia, African Youth Scrabble Championship in Kenya, Panasa President's Cup, West African Scrabble Championship, MGI World Team Championship in Ghana, and World English Scrabble Players Association Championship also in Ghana. 2 Nigerians, David Orji and Prestige Archibong, emerged as champions in the under-19 and under-15 categories at the 1st African Youth Scrabble Championship. David emerged victorious with 19 wins to secure the under-19 title in 24 rounds of games. In the under-15 category, Prestige Archibong claimed the top honor, winning 16 games and achieving the cumulative score of plus 2,614. And in football, newly crowned African Player of the Year, Ademola Lookman, has seen his market value skyrocket to 55 million euros, according to player statistics and valuation website Transfer Market. The Nigerian forward stock rose by 15 million euros, leapfrogging Bayern Leverkusen's Victor Boniface 45 million euros to become Nigeria's current second most valuable player behind Victor Osimhen at 75 million euros. Lookman's meteoric rise in the last 2 seasons has cemented his place among Nigeria's most valuable footballers. In 2023, Lookman was valued at 30 million euros. However, an outstanding 12 months saw him gain 25 million euros in market worth, representing a remarkable 83.33% increase. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
With that, we wrap up our offering for you on the News Hour tonight. Thank you most kindly for joining us. Feel free, as always, to stay in touch by following us across our social media platforms. You can also visit our website, trusttv.com, for the latest news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. From the rest of the team, thank you for watching the News Hour, and good night.